Hey everybody, welcome to another week with Beyond Technical. This week, what I'm going to do is not so much help with Street Fighter as much as just show you guys some cool stuff. So if I end up coughing or anything like that, I'm sorry. I was at a tournament last weekend called T12, which I've kind of advertised around, but if you haven't heard of it, it's one of the few majors that you actually get in Toronto, Canada. So we had some really, really high tier American players come through for the tournament. We had like Combo Fiend, WolfKrone, Minion was there. He got second place, I believe. Marlon Pie. There's a pretty big list of names that are well known around the Street Fighter community that showed up. And we had a few Canadian players that kind of did all right. The tournament actually was a lot of fun, other than it's cold. I've heard people are calling the T virus that went around that tournament. Everybody's caught it. So a lot of guys have been kind of sicking out since then. But it was a blast. The venue was so full. I was talking to the host of the tournament, Russell, and he said that he had no idea that many people would show up. So they weren't really prepared for it at all, which meant a lot of stuff was kind of running late. But they did a really good job putting on a great tournament. It was a lot of fun. And, there's some phenomenal gameplay going on. For future reference, anybody throwing a tournament, try to keep with the timing. The finals weren't very hyped up because half the room was empty. I heard a lot of people kind of saying on stream, like, sounds like all the Canadians aren't really cheering or all that into it because it's only Americans playing now. And that really wasn't the case. The American games were actually kind of more exciting for a lot of us. But I know a lot of people had to go home. That room went from, 170 people down to like 30 or 40 by the time those finals were on. And that really kind of kills the hype in a room a little bit. But they were also on about 6 hours later than they were supposed to be. So people tried to plan for it, but they couldn't show up. Either way, I figured I'm going to show you guys a little bit of footage this week about what a major tournament's like. And we've actually got a little bit of a bonus. We got I talked to and made a few friends at the tournament, and one of the guys I met there was WolfKrone. Actually, he's a really great guy. So hey, WolfKrone, if you end up watching this, and thanks for all the advice and pointers and all that kind of stuff you're talking with me about. And thank you again for the interview. So we've got that coming up. So stay tuned for an interview with WolfKrone. And as I mentioned in the interview, WolfKrone doesn't have a sponsor yet, or he was working into something at the tournament, but he's not currently sponsored, at least last I spoke to him. So if you have any way to hook WolfKrone up with a sponsor, that man can play one hell of a Sea Viper. So let's get him a little tag on the front of his name and get him flying to some of these tournaments. So I had a great time. I did all right. I didn't win by any means, but I made it. I lasted into Sunday, into the tournament, so I made it all the way through Saturday's rounds and got into the second wave of the tourney and lost out pretty early on Sunday to a really, really good Ryu player. So I had a lot of fun. It was a very enjoyable experience. And I've been to a lot of smaller tournaments, but major tournaments are much, much different. It's a lot more fun. And once again, thanks to Spooky for showing up and streaming the event as well. And unfortunately, America stole all of his stuff, but that kind of sucked. Everything else was really fun and great. So let's check out what WolfKrone had to say. I asked him a couple questions that you guys supplied and mostly questions that I supplied. But let's hear from WolfKrone. All right, I just want to show you guys some quick footage of the actual tournament itself, just to show you how crazy packed this venue was. It's a really long ordeal too. When you go, you're there for 12 hours, 2 days straight, starting early in the morning, going till late at night, and even when we were done this whole tournament, as you see just how crazy packed it is. We went up and we had a hotel room. We went and played a bunch of matches up there too. We hooked up a little 15-inch TV. So it's a really long day, and it was really busy. So T12 was a fantastic tournament, and now we'll hear from WolfKrone. The audio quality is going to be a little bit different, so I hope you guys can just understand and grab everything from that. I haven't had too much of a problem. I think it came through pretty well. And congratulations to WolfKrone. He was the winner of the T12 tournament, and he went home with an Xbox, a new fight stick, and over $2,000 of cash prize. So congrats, WolfKrone. All right, so for anybody who doesn't recognize, this gentleman standing next to me has been very kind to answer a few questions for us. This is WolfKrone. I'm Matt Skiar, and so we just figured we can ask you questions and maybe get some info to you guys. So got one online question that I want to field first before I drop everything here. What do you think is more important, character loyalty or swapping up to a higher tier character when your AI gets nervous?
I honestly think character loyalty will help you out in the end. Like counter picking and picking out characters is good at first when people really don't know the game, but I think as the game gets deeper, character specialist, I'm going to be better at that.
Yeah. Even if you play something like lower, like really low tier.
If you play somebody really low tier, I mean, as long as you play that character and you play them, you'll be able to play them at their best. I still think you're good.
Sounds good. Obviously, you're going to stick with Viper then in 2012?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so a few questions just kind of about you in general. How long have you been playing?
I've been playing since Street Fighter 4 first came out in February of 09. I've been playing, what you mean, like in tournaments?
Well, no, just like personally. Like how long have you played fighting games?
I've been playing fighting games overall. I've been playing all my life.
Yeah.
Since I was like 5, as you can say. I started off with Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And I played all the rest of the fighting games, Soul Calibur, Alpha, Third Strike. I played those games just casually for fun, just because I was still in school.
Do you find you probably know a lot of the higher tier guys a little better than I do. Do you find that most players have that kind of a background, or are there more people kind of showing up that are kind of new?
Most players had that kind of background that they started like from the start.
Yeah.
And continue all the way to now. We got a few new players like Enzo.
Yeah.
He originally came from shooters, but now he's in Street Fighter. So you have a few new people, but most of the top players are
all kind of like hardcore.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Fighters,
yeah. How about your fighting game community career? I guess like you made a name for yourself. Obviously, you're well known like online everywhere. People watch you. You're on a lot of streams and stuff. What's been like some big moments for you in terms of like making yourself or making a name for yourself?
I'd say probably Evo.
Yeah.
Evo's where I got my advantage versus Michael, I guess you could say. He recently, like before that tournament, we had Revelations where he beat me. He came out to the wire, but he still beat me.
Yeah.
And then Evo, we had a chance to run it back for the top end spot from Evo.
That's a good rematch.
So that was like one of my best moments.
That's pretty cool, man. How about new players? What would you suggest to somebody kind of trying to hop in the game now and join in late?
It's going to be tough. I could say, let's see. If you're new and you're trying to pick up the game, just make sure you have to make sure execution is on point.
Yeah.
Make sure your anti-air is good.
Yeah.
And your footsies. You have to make sure you have those three things in order to survive.
Yeah, I found personally Balrog's uppercut was really slow, and that was something I had to slowly adjust to. And when I learned how to pop people out of the air, that bumped me up real quick. Getting that kind of down really helps. So how much do you play and practice on a weekly basis to kind of keep yourself at that high top tier level?
I used to practice a lot, I said 7 hours or something.
A day?
Yeah. I just played online and stuff.
Yeah, you've only played online, right? You didn't have arcades?
I had arcades in 04, but they had Third Strike to CBS 2. I was there for a year.
Yeah.
It closed down, so a year after in 05. So
yeah.
We just went back to consoles.
Well, that's cool. So do you think that practicing online is enough for people then? Do you think
I'm new generation, so I like online. I do think online is good for practicing. Even though sometimes connection is bad.
Yeah.
You find a lot of bad connections, but even on Xbox, even if it's bad, it's still a steady connection, so you can kind of learn something from it.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I found even when it's lags for me, I try and just get do my timing. I just try to focus less on the lag and just tap the button to the right time, and it'll still come out. But yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes you get some matches, it's done. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You can be the best player in the world, you'll lose to someone just shooting fireballs that you can't even block.
Exactly. Yeah. I hate when that happens.
Yeah. So actually, one question that's kind of, I guess, more up my alley than anything is, how do you manage international tournaments and that kind of stuff with your personal life? What do you do outside of Street Fighter?
Yeah, right now I'm just in school. I'm going to school for CIS. I'm just how I balance it out.
And actually, CIS. You want to tell people?
CIS is computer information systems. That's my major.
Yeah.
But how I balance it out is just you just got to manage your time right.
Yeah.
Right now I don't practice as much just because I know I got school.
Yeah.
So I practice 3 hours a day, 3 or 4 hours a day.
And you said you aren't sponsored, right?
No.
So paying for all the travel and everything to get here is all out of your own pocket then?
I'm looking for a sponsor now, so I have to keep doing that.
All right, if anybody that watches this online, he's looking for a sponsor, hook him up. Well, that's pretty cool then. So, like, with your play time go down, do you notice, like, do you feel like you're doing worse, or like, do you feel it?
Like one of the main reasons I stopped playing online as much is just because I feel like I wasn't learning as much as I was.
Yeah.
I know these past few weeks, like I'll probably play online, like try to grind it out like I usually do, but
Yeah.
I don't get anything out of it. Like I'm not learning anything, so
Not picking up new tricks.
yeah. So I just kind of play offline more.
Yeah.
Working on my execution, make sure it's really, really good, so I don't miss anything, and just try to think of stuff from there.
So now that you've kind of had some experience in tournaments, that kind of stuff, do you feel like a lot of anticipation when you get on stage still? Like when you're playing on stream, there's a lot of people yelling and cheering and all that shit, or do you feel like that affects you as much anymore, or like over time you kind of get numb to it?
I say like the only crowd that really affects me now is probably like Evo.
Yeah.
A crowd like Evo.
Yeah, that's gotta feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's just about it. But every other crowd, like I'm pretty much used to it. But
Yeah. Well, I think that's all my questions. Thank you very much. Appreciate the interview. Yeah. As I said, Beyond Technical online. Check it out. I'll post it on there. And thanks everybody watching. I hope.
Thank you.
Yeah. WolfKrone.
Take care.
Fucking fantastic player. Thanks, man.